the Nice Guys on Business podcast. The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebs, dickheads. They think they're righteous dudes. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
You're ready for me to give you shit?
Yeah, I'm ready. Why would today be any different than any other day?
True. Very good point. Very good point. Hey, Nice Guy community.
Wait, is it a Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday. This is the Tuesday show. Yes.
It's time to give Doug shit then. All right, we're ready for your intro, Strick. Go ahead.
Nice Guy community, welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. Together, we're the Nice Guys on Business.
I'm having a nice, cool, tasty beverage. It's just water, ice water, but out of my Beach Shack Harley Davidson from Panama City, Florida mug that Strickland Bonner gave me. Thank you, Strick, you're always thinking of me when you go away. You give me these cool gifts. You remember when your parents used to go out of town when you were a little kid and you always wanted to get stuff when they came back? Did your parents bring you stuff?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they actually left you wherever you were vacationing. So.
Well, Doug, I want to tell you, make sure that you know that if you're trying to butter me up, it's not going to work. And before we get into giving Doug shit today, I do want to say we may have people that don't listen to the interview shows. 2 days ago was Doug's birthday. It is today as of the day that we're recording this. But it is Doug's birthday, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Doug Sandler. Happy birthday to you. Did you know that up until a couple of months ago, we could not use that song without having to pay a royalty?
What? Are you kidding me?
But now we can.
What? Who said that?
Okay, so here's another tangent that we weren't planning on going off on, but we will now. So the song Happy Birthday was written by somebody, right? And songs have a royalty of like 75 years, right? It's like published material. I don't know the details about it, but bottom line is that anytime you sing Happy Birthday or that you use Happy Birthday in a recording, you are supposed to pay a royalty on it. So this is why when you go to TGI Fridays, why they don't sing Happy Birthday, why they have their whatever Happy Birthday song.
All right.
Because otherwise they would have to. And when you're watching a TV show or when you're watching a movie, a lot of times they don't sing it because they have to pay a royalty on that. But that royalty just ran out. In fact, we can come back to this. I'm going to have to look it up because I heard that some company bought the rights to the song a couple of years ago for like $15 million or something.
Yeah, okay.
And then, of course, it ran out. But I have to believe that they knew when they bought it that the rights were actually running out. Happy birthday.
I guess the question, though, is how is anybody enforcing this? Like, I have never been hit with an ASCAP fee. Have you?
Right. No. And that's the thing is, if you're small, it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
But if you are TGI Fridays and you have hundreds of stores, what they do is they can't say, hey, we need to know every time you sing it, right? But they can say, look, we're going to give you the right to use it, and we're going to estimate that among all your stores, you probably sing it 1,000 times a year. So we're just going to charge you an annual fee based on that. Or obviously with a movie or a TV show, that's the kind of thing that BMI and ASCAP keep an eye on all the time. And I'm sure Stacey Sherman knows a lot more about this than I do. But so those kind of places would get hit. So yes, technically you and I, if I sang it to you and it was still not royalty free, somebody could have found us. But like with the 1,500 downloads an episode that we get, probably would go under the radar, so to speak.
Under radar. And when I originally started DJing, I remember there was this whole undercurrent about downloading a song from iTunes and then playing it at a gig because you're given through Apple a private license to play that song for yourself. You're not given a commercial license to play that song for a crowd.
Right.
So then it got into, well, who pays? There's this thing called, I don't know what ASCAP stands for, but it basically protects the artist, correct?
Exactly. Yep.
But there is a fee. It's not paid by the entertainer. It's supposed to be paid by the venue in which the entertainer appears.
Really? I didn't know that was the deal. Yeah.
Something like that. And the RIAA, the Recording Institute of America or something. I don't even know what that is.
RIAA, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also a whole bunch of, there's potential legal issues with ASCAP fees, and RIAA gets involved, and and in the DJ business and the download thing. And I'm telling you, as a guy that was I guess in the market that we're in, I'm probably a big player in this market with the very specific niche industry of bar and bat mitzvahs. Nobody has ever even said a word to me. Now, I do get all of my songs legally. I guess in the beginning, maybe I did because there was no other way to get the music. But I have not downloaded a song illegally for probably 20 years. I just don't understand I don't understand how any of that shit works at all.
You know what's really interesting? I'm looking into this right now.
Yeah,
and apparently my take on it was wrong. It wasn't that it expired.
Yeah.
They actually took it to court. And a court basically said, no, you do not have the right to collect royalties on it. You only have the right to collect royalties on specific piano arrangements, which is crazy. So what happened was Warner Chappell apparently owns the rights to this, and they have since 1988. And so they collect a lot of money on this, but this court basically said, nope, you can't, you're not allowed to collect this anymore. And they may actually make Warner Chappell repay some of these that they've forced people to pay.
Oh,
interesting. Not that interesting. We really shouldn't talk about it that much more, but I find it interesting. So
no, I find the whole thing. I mean, happy birthday. Seriously, I mean, that's it's the most simple tune, but I guess, I'm loving it. I guess that's a simple tune too by McDonald's, right? And if you use that anyway, right? That's it. If those simple little catchy tunes, if you use those anywhere other than to promote McDonald's, I guess, you could be in trouble for that.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, so let's get back to our topics. Let's get to the promise statement first because we don't want to get off on a tangent.
Okay, so the promise statement by the nice guys in business, I have it right in front of me, and that is to provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds I just pulled that one out.
That was very good. That was good, though.
To provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds value to your life. Why don't I just print the fucker out already?
I don't know. I've got it in my OneNote. And you know what? Whenever I don't have it in front of me, all I got to do is click on the page that says Show Notes Footer. And it's right there. So, I mean, I don't have to write it down again, I
think part of the fun of me not having it in front of me is exactly how long it'll take for me to actually put it in front of me when we get to it.
Of course, that's why instead of actually doing it, that's why I bring it up to see how long it will take. Yeah.
You are so cruel.
Yeah. So talking about being cruel to Doug.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, Doug, I understand that you did your dialing for Doug yesterday, which was Monday night, right?
I did do it yesterday, and as a matter of fact, I did. Let me tell you the results last week that we had. Okay, can I share those with you?
Sure.
Okay, so
hang on, the results from last night.
No, last week.
Last week. Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, because this is the second week that we did it. So fortunately, last week I was able to save face on Wednesday, and we did have a caller. It was Tim Hill, and he actually called me to let me know how he did on his Whole30 program. I think he was just coming off of the or either that or he just came off of the diet this week. Mm-hmm. But he called me, chatted with me. We just talked about everything and nothing, and I talked about why Strickland always gives me shit about everything in my life.
Because it makes the podcast interesting.
It makes the podcast interesting, absolutely. And so I was very happy with the results. I think it takes a little while for the message to land. And so it's important to be consistent.
So that's the story you're going with. It's not going to be like, hey, we had our huge bang up premiere of this where we thought we would get totally crushed because it's the first time we're doing it. And we only got one call. It's going to be, no, it takes time to spin up and pick up. Whatever.
Okay.
By the way, I understand from Tim Hill also that you lost him in a tunnel, apparently.
It was like 6:10 or 6:15, or maybe it was a couple minutes after 6 o'clock, and the phone was pretty silent. And Tim, much to his defense, Tim said, "I was waiting for anybody that was going to call that is not a regular caller," because Tim and I have chatted many times. He said, "I figured by about 6 o'clock, maybe the novelty of it had worn off and nobody else was going to call." So he called me towards the tail end of it, and I'm thinking, all right, well, I needed to head downtown. I could have waited a little bit longer, but the phone was silent. I didn't know what to do.
So apparently,
so I got on the subway.
We started it at 5 o'clock, and apparently by 5:05, the novelty had worn off already.
No,
Doug, so I'm saying you lost me in a tunnel, like with, nobody can see it, but like with air quotes, like, oh yeah, Doug, lost you in a tunnel.
I spent a time talking to Tim. Tim does not. Believe me, if you were to poll Tim and say, Tim Hill, how is Doug as a person to talk on the phone? Do you get the feeling like he's just going through the motions? I would think that you would get from Tim Hill this guy's actually good. Tim and I actually spent a considerable amount of time on Saturday after I had my gig just chatting back and forth through text messaging. I liked him. I think he's a nice guy. You know what? There's a lot of people that I like, and I would be happy to text back and forth. I would even be happy to have a phone call from a complete stranger that's a nice guy community. You know who I don't like hearing from anymore, Strickland?
Who?
You!
That's not very nice, Doug.
No, I'm just kidding. I love hearing from you. Please keep calling me. Please do.
Anyway, so if you were looking forward to dialing for Doug Wednesdays, you couldn't make it last week, but you wanted to do it this week, too late. It happened already yesterday because Doug was not available this Wednesday.
I didn't realize that I wasn't going to be available. I know. I promised everybody. I promised everybody that I would be available between now and eternity. It kind of reminds me of the song by Meatloaf.
Which song?
What's isn't it Meatloaf that sings what's the song with oh crap I'm blanking on it. It's Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. That's Meatloaf.
Oh right.
It's like but please, I'll do anything.
Right. So the reason that you're not available Wednesday is because you are going to be on the
Vamoose Gold bus.
The Yahoo bus. I don't know. I was thinking Yahoo. Vamoose. Yes, the Vamoose bus.
Yeah, I'll be on. I will be on Vamoose, and I will be making my way between New York and Baltimore.
And are you not allowed to make a call on your cell phone?
No, you can't call. They get really pissed at you if you're on.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of like the Vamoose is very much like the quiet car. Have you ever ridden on Amtrak?
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm going up to. So let me give you just a teeny bit of background. I'm going up to New York. I'm speaking at a conference for C-Suite as my new relationship with Jeffrey Hazlett as the director of partnerships for C-Suite Radio, and I am sitting on a panel discussion. So I'm one of the panelists. So I'm taking. I first checked out how much it would cost me to take the train. They only had Acela, which is their high-speed line, and it was something like $400 or more.
What?
Yeah,
That's
right,
crazy.
exactly. Round trip. So I'm like, there's got to be a better way to go. To drive into the city is just nuts, especially in December. The parking your car in New York is probably like $75 a day.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple things that came into my onto my radar screen. Again, I love technology. Love it. So I got online and I was looking at hotels. Airbnb was by far the cheapest. The hotels in New York are a minimum of $500 in December, just because, again, the holiday season. So staying in Airbnb, again, this is going to be my second time doing it. Vamoose Gold as opposed to the Acela line. Vamoose, $50. It only has 3 seats across. So 1 seat, the aisle, and then 2 seats.
Wow.
So it is kind of like luxury line. And although it's the bus, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the bus, I'm not going to be a snob. I'll take whatever I have to take to get there. I'm not going to fly a plane. That would be stupid. And I'm not going to spend $400 on the high-speed line because that would be dumb also.
No,
so,
it'd be ridiculous.
Anyway, so coming back on Wednesday, I am leaving there. I marked it on my schedule properly, but I didn't write the from and through time. I wrote that I was leaving at 4 o'clock, and for some reason, the appointment automatically schedules an hour. So I did not see that from 5 to 6:30 that I actually needed to be available to answer the phone. That's why I did it on Monday. Mm-hmm. Anyway, part of the whole process, Strickland, you've told me this flywheel principle. It's you got to ramp up. You just can't. You're just not going to start full throttle. Mm-hmm. So the more we introduce it, yeah, it's not just going to be a deluge of calls. It's going to take a little while to get this going. So, I do apologize, nice guy community. I made a mistake, and as I always say, it's not that you're bound to make a mistake. It's it's what happens next that really counts. So please forgive me. Yesterday was the call-in day. We did make an announcement on Monday, but if you're only listening to Tuesday's show, then you missed it, and I do apologize. Here's what I will do. You can call me anytime this week, okay? How about that? 410-340-6861. If I'm not at an appointment or if I'm not eating a meal with my family, I will be happy to pick up the phone and talk to you about anything that you want to talk about. How about that, Strick?
That's very thoughtful of you. I like it.
The entire week. 410-340-6861. We'll remind you on Thursday during the next show.
Okay, then.
Okay. Is that good? Now, what shit do you want to give me now?
I think that was pretty good. I was just curious more about the Vamoose Bus, but that's kind of cool. Coffee. You wanted to talk about coffee.
I do want to talk about coffee. Very interesting experience that my wife had while she was doing a series of events in D.C. over the weekend. She went to a hotel. I don't know if I should mention the name of the hotel because I think that most hotels are in this position where if you're in a luxury hotel, my wife does mainly high-end social events. I know you know the Strickland, but Nice Guy Community may not. My wife does mainly high-end social events as an event planner. So she'll deal with a lot of clients that are having their events in very high-end hotels. So she was doing an event at a very high-end hotel in DC, and she stayed overnight because the Friday night event was not going to be over until very late. She had to get there very early on Saturday morning and then stay over again on Saturday night. Mm-hmm. She went down to what they would consider their coffee shop, and she got a cup of coffee. Guess how much it was? Just take a guess.
$4.
$10.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
What coffee could you possibly get? And it's hotel coffee. If it's a chain, which it is, but it's a luxury chain, they're not bringing in like monkey pooped coffee. You know that, right?
Right, of course.
$10 for a cup of coffee. And then it got me thinking about the different levels of coffee that you would get. So on the far...
And this isn't like room service, right? Like where they jack the prices because they're bringing it to your room.
No. This is just in their restaurant.
That's insane.
$10.
Okay, please continue.
Okay, so then it got me thinking about the whole hierarchy of coffee and at what point does the value of the value of the coffee wear out and the quality of the coffee, where's the intersection between quality and value? At what price point is that?
Right.
And so what would you say is that price point? Because I've done a very informal poll, but I have found that there are some people willing to pay. So that's my question. What would you be willing to pay for what kind of coffee at what kind of quality? So price point and quality point. Can you share what your experience would be?
I am not a coffee connoisseur. Okay. So I'm not a guy that will pay a lot of money for coffee, but I got to tell you, for my opinion, I think Starbucks to me is right at the edge of my limit. And that's only when I'm buying like the white chocolate mocha latte where it's like all the syrup and all the other crap with it, right? And I'll pay, $4 or $5 for that, right? But if it's just regular coffee, I'm a $2 kind of guy.
So share this with me. At what point do you actually turn around and walk out? So in other words,
if it was just regular coffee and they said $10, really, I would order something else. And if I really, really wanted coffee, I would totally walk out. $10? Oh my God. Regular. You know what? Let's say you're at a convention center or, you're someplace where it's like an airport where you're going to get jacked and you really want some coffee. Sure. I'll pay $4 or $5 at that point. I would for $4 or $5 for regular coffee.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. All right.
That's it. Like if I saw $6, $7 for a cup of regular coffee, even if I was in a situation where I couldn't, I'm in a stadium or a convention, like I said, and I couldn't get it cheaper, I'd find an alternative. I'd do something else.
What would you do? This is very interesting because at what point do you get so uncomfortable that you have to do it? Like, okay, they've poured the coffee now, and you didn't realize there's no price on it anywhere, and they're about to hand you the cup. She has it in her hand. She's handing you the cup, and she says, "That's $7. Do you pay for it?"
That's a tough one because I'm not a big conflict guy. I can deal with conflict, but I just don't like to. Yeah. And at that point, I'd be like, what the fuck? But yeah, I'd probably pay it. Like if they've already made the coffee. I'm trying to think. It's $9 now. I got to. I'm trying to remember a specific
Mr. Bonner,
situation.
this is your cup of coffee. You just ordered this cup of coffee. Here's $9.
I got to tell you, really, at $9, I probably would go, what? Regular coffee? And they'd be like, yeah, I got to tell you, at that point, I would probably go, look, I'm sorry that you made it, but no, I'm not paying that. I can't remember the situation recently within the last couple of months where I did that exactly. I purchased something and they gave me the price and I was like, what? And I said, I'm sorry, I don't want it. I did do that and I can't remember what it was now. But yes, at $9, I would probably go, no, I'm not paying that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're okay at a $4 or $5. Now, the $4 or $5 though, it's got to have shit in it though, right? Is that what you're saying? You can't.
Exactly. At $4 or $5, I'm okay getting the white chocolate mocha with the syrup and the cream and the steamed this and that and the other bullshit that makes it really sweet and tasty. And yes, I'm okay with that.
So what would you say? At what point do you say if you go somewhere and order it, you say, that's it?
I don't know. It's tough because it's coffee, right? If I were like a coffee connoisseur, I'd probably have stronger feelings about it and certainly would pay more for something that maybe is not as much somewhere else, but I'm just not a coffee guy like that.
I mean, I go into someplace like on the East Coast, they have Wawa and they have what's it called? What's the name of the place that's got the it's not Rutter's.
Royal Farms? I don't know.
There's a Royal Farms. There's I'm trying. It's not what the heck is the name of that chain where you go that's got all the. I don't remember. It's like a 7-Eleven. It's a gas station, but it's got a whole bunch of different coffees when you walk in there. Okay. And you can probably get a cup of coffee for $1.50, maybe $2 tops. And for me, I walk in and I think actually anything that's under $2 is a value. You can't even get a gumball for less than $1 anymore.
Right.
So to go in somewhere and get it for less than $2, I'm thinking this is a good deal. When I start to get to Dunkin' Donuts, I still think is a good deal, but I believe for a medium coffee, you're going to pay more than $2, or maybe a large coffee, you're going to pay probably close to $3.
I don't think so. Not regular coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. I think it's still under $2.
Okay, so somewhere around there, and I'm okay at that price. Starbucks, I'm very similar to you, but I don't get any of the fancy stuff. I just like coffee with either iced coffee with cream or actually soy, and regular coffee with just a little bit of something in there, but nothing, no syrups, no sugars. So for me, $3, $4. I think the $4 price point is a lot for coffee, but $10.
No, it's ridiculous.
If I even saw that on the menu, isn't there some in the lobby that's free?
No, there's no freaking way I would pay $10 for coffee. Not a shot. Not going to happen.
All right. So I was just curious what your take on that was, because when she told me that story about the $10 coffee, I was like, holy shit. I don't know if I could.
No, I couldn't swallow that.
No.
I wish I could remember the time recently where I was like, they gave me the price and I was like, oh, I know exactly where it was. Perfect. Okay. They hadn't actually made it. Thank goodness. Right. I'm in Las Vegas and I wanted to get one of these, like if anybody that's been to Vegas, you've seen like the yards or the half yard drinks, right?
Yeah.
So I went to a place in Caesars, like their forum shops, right? And I wanted to get a half yard of like foo-foo frozen drink thing, right? I was like going to be wandering around and I just wanted to be something stupid, right? So it's a half yard, and the girl says, "Oh yeah, you get 5 shots of premium liquor in this, and then we mix it up in the foo drink." I'm like, "Okay, cool, great, sounds good."
Wait, don't tell me the cost. I want to guess.
Please do. And this is a half yard, so it's a lot of liquor, right?
So 5 shots, right? 5 shots. All right, so 5. So 1 shot and a mixer in a regular, and even in a high end bar would probably be $10.
Yeah.
So let me go with, and I got to figure there's got to be a slight discount because but then again, you're in Vegas, so there's a slight upcharge for that. Yeah. I'm going to say $30 would have been almost okay to think about. I still wouldn't have paid it. I would have been like, get the fuck out.
Right.
So I'm saying $30.
Higher, Bob.
Really? Higher than $30?
Higher, Bob.
40?
Higher, Bob.
$50 for a drink?
$56.
What the fuck?
Right. And this and after she told me the price, and thank God she told me before she mixed it, because I would have been very hard pressed, like with a frozen drink that she actually took the time to mix and would probably have to throw away otherwise, to have said no, right? But I'm looking around and I didn't see the price anywhere, right? And I'm like, no, not a shot. Right now, here's what's really funny about it. I went to the other end of the forum shops where, I don't know if you guys have heard of a place called Fat Tuesdays, right?
No, I don't know Fat Tuesdays.
Fat Tuesdays, their whole shtick is that they do these frozen drinks, right? They've got like 10 different flavors, and that's what they do. That's what they're known for, is these frozen drinks that have, different liquors and whatever. So I go to Fat Tuesdays, and they have the half yard also. And the half yard at Fat Tuesdays, $18. and this is 56 ounces of drink. So it's a lot of drink. I mean, it's like 4 or 5 drinks basically, right? $18. So I went to Fat Tuesdays and I got that drink. Plus, I think I got an extra shot or two, which was like $5, right? And I got a hot dog, and it was less than half the price, including tip of the other.
Why at the same? Wait a minute, but it's a different establishment, right?
Right. Totally different store within forum shops are basically a mall, right? And the one that I went to first was this center kiosk type of thing. And it's this, hot girl wearing like a sexy outfit. So I'm sure tourists go by all the time and they see this hot girl and it's like, ooh, I'm going to get one of those. And they do not post the prices anywhere. And obviously with good reason, because if anybody sees it, they're not going to pay $56. It's ridiculous. $56 for a freaking drink.
Yeah, but that's no.
I was ready. I was ready to pay 25 or 30 because this is 56 ounces, right? It's a lot of liquor.
How can you even put that much? I think if I had 5 shots of anything, I would be on the floor.
Well, it was interesting because the Fat Tuesday one, they said it included 5 shots, right? And I finished the drink and I was like, nah, it definitely. If I did 5 shots, I'd be in really good shape, and I wasn't that drunk. But what was interesting was with the Fat Tuesday one, it's in the same shops, right? Like when you're at the mall, sometimes you pay more at a shop for something because you're at the mall. So, and by the way, the Caesars Forum shops have the highest per square footage sales of any place in the entire country. Okay. I mean, this is what I've heard. I don't know if it's still true, but like 5 years ago, I heard this, right? So obviously they charge a lot for rent. And Fat Tuesdays, it wasn't like I went to some little storefront somewhere else. This was in the same Caesars Forum shop. So this is tips from the nice guy community. If you're visiting Las Vegas and you want to get a good food drink.
Stay home and drink.
Go to Fat Tuesdays and get theirs. Don't go to the kiosk in the middle, but $56.
Hey, I just want to ask, just so I know this officially, was this a product endorsement or was this a product review? I just need to make sure that I'm marking it on my spreadsheet.
Let's call it the casual, unofficial product review of Fat Tuesdays. That I really, I've always enjoyed Fat Tuesdays. They are very fun. If you've never been into one, I definitely would recommend going into one. So back to coffee real quick. You had indicated before the show that you had done like a comparison of coffees?
No, it wasn't a comparison like of the quality of the coffee, but I can tell you that that I really like Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's probably one of my most favorite tasting coffees. Yeah. I prefer it over Starbucks, so I don't see what the big. I will go to Starbucks because I think it is a great place to. I don't like to hang out at Dunkin' Donuts, so if I'm going to meet somebody and have an appointment, I oftentimes will do that outside of my home because that's really my office. So if the choice was I'm going to meet you at a coffee shop, I will always say let's meet at. There's a Starbucks that's not too far down the road from me, so I'll always say let's meet there. But there is a Dunkin' Donuts that's probably 2 miles closer.
No, Dunkin' Donuts is not a hangout place, especially if you are doing business. It's just not official and nice. But very interesting. They did a thing on the Today Show a couple months ago where they compared coffee. They had 3 cups of coffee. One of them was like shitty deli coffee. And they basically called it, generic crappy deli coffee. And then they did Starbucks. And then they had another one that was like super high end coffee, right? Yeah. Really high end stuff. And they just had people blind taste test them. And they said, which ones do you like? And it wasn't overwhelming, but it was like the deli coffee took the slight advantage. It was like 35% preferred maybe 40% preferred the deli coffee.
Was that the cheap one or was that not the cheap one?
The cheap one, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like 35 or 40% preferred the deli coffee and like 25% or 28 Starbucks and 28 the other or whatever. But the bottom line was the cheapest coffee, which is half the price or less of the expensive coffee, people actually enjoyed it more in general.
This might sound crazy, but I almost prefer the temperature to be. The temperature is probably one of the most important indicators of a good cup of coffee for me. It really isn't about. It isn't all about the flavor of the coffee. As a matter of fact, Starbucks. And I'm not bashing Starbucks because I do a lot of business with them, and I certainly give their gift cards out as I think it's a good community.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's the best coffee.
Yeah, I'm with you. But that's it. We've talked about it on past shows before that Starbucks charges $4 or $5 for a cup of coffee because they can, but it's also because they are creating an atmosphere. They're creating a community. You walk in and you get free Wi-Fi and they've got nice comfy couches and you hang out and you read the paper. And when you do that, they're not going to push you out. It's not like they're going to rush you out the door because you're not drinking enough coffee. It's this inclusive and they charge a premium for it.
Yeah, they charge a premium to guarantee to spell my name incorrectly every time on the cup. Why my name has an H on the end of it, I have no idea. But I would say I would say 4 out of 10 trips to Starbucks, they will spell my name incorrectly.
Doug. How do you spell Doug wrong? I can understand spelling Strickland wrong.
Right, exactly. My name gets spelled Dough.
I might see that at a Dunkin' Donuts where they have dough on the brain, but not at a Starbucks. Dough.
Yeah, but in Dunkin' Donuts, their donut is spelled Dounuts.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why they spell it wrong, but I would say a good 30 to 40% of my trips to Starbucks, they spell my name incorrectly. I actually go in there now when I go in there and they say, "What's your name?" And I say, "Doug, Doug." I spell it for them.
Well, we are 32 minutes into the episode, and we do have one thing we have to get to because we promised in one of our intros that we recorded already that's going to air tomorrow that we would talk about it. But I'm going to do a little quick tease for Thursday. We're going to talk about my Southwest update and your Geico experience. Among other things. But before we go, we have to talk about why we record in the order we record in. So, total transparency, Nice Guy community, we typically will record all of our weekly episodes and the introductions to the interviews on Sunday night. Usually Saturday, a lot of times it's Sunday night. And the reason that we record we will typically do our intros to the interviews first, right? We'll record 2 or 3 of those first, and then we record our episodes. So the question is, why do you do them that way in chronological order? I know why I feel that we don't. Maybe we just never thought about it. Maybe we're just stupid. But
that is a given.
I think, Doug and I, we get into a groove when we start talking to each other. There's certain mentality that, of us giving each other shit and just playing off of each other and what we want to talk about. And sometimes it takes a little time to get into that. And so with the interview openers, we try not to do that. We want to try to stay focused and not have 10 to 12 minute introductions to interviews because it's just not really polite. So we record the intros first.
We promised people that we wouldn't do that. I think that was one of the things that we got as immediate feedback, or not immediate, but we got as feedback from the Nice Guy community. You guys told us, hey, could you just kind of like the national parks, could you tighten up your intros a little bit?
Yeah, so we figured that if we end up doing those later, then we've already got ourselves into these mindset, and it's very hard for us to focus after that because we just go off on tangents all the time. So it helps us kind of get the ball rolling and get us into our groove, and hopefully it helps us stay a little more focused so we can do quick interviews or quick interviews.
Well said. Yeah, the way that I think about it is it's just I can't quite get up to speed as quickly if we're just starting to. I need like a running start. So the running start for me is are the intros for the interviews. Not that because our quality or our content is any worse, but because I really feel like we need to get, like you said, Strick, into the groove, and that happens on the Tuesdays and Thursdays show. So if we do 3 interviews,
boy, you got to prove your love to me. See? Sorry, that was a little Madonna aside right there, getting us into the groove.
Get into the groove. Nice.
I was so bad that you didn't even recognize the damn song.
I did it. It took me a second. Now, so give me some other. I'm not looking at anything else. Give me another song that was on that album. I would say it was Holiday on that. Oh
yeah, Madonna. I think that was her debut album. So that was a bunch of hits. Holiday, yeah.
What the
Dress
heck?
You Up in My Love.
Okay, yeah. It was Vogue wasn't on that one though, was it?
No. Vogue was definitely many albums later. That was when she was starting to reinvent herself. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I think that album came out when I was in college.
Yeah.
And all of the girls used to dress with those fishnet gloves.
Oh, she changed everything. I mean, the music, the sound, the look. I mean, everybody wanted to dress like Madonna in the 80s, and it was all her.
Do you think that Cyndi Lauper was pissed because Madonna won?
For what was it, like Best New Artist or something? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think they came out around the same time. If in my head, that's about when they came out.
Well, Cyndi Lauper, though, come on, her stuff was always a little unusual, a little offbeat, right? Where Madonna was very mainstream. So I think Cyndi Lauper.
I bop, we bop.
Right. And you know what we bop is about?
No, what is that? Is it about sex?
It's about masturbation.
I did not know that.
Oh my gosh, Doug, yeah.
I thought that was what Turning Japanese was about.
It is.
By the Vapors, right?
Yes, the Vapors do not have a monopoly on songs about masturbation, okay?
How about, how many songs?
Blister in the Sun is about masturbation.
That's right.
It's about getting, your girlfriend catching you.
Oh, man. How did we get off on that tangent?
Well, you brought up She Bop. I mean,
I didn't know that was what that was about.
Well, the other thing with Cyndi Lauper that's funny, I think if you talk to her, I wouldn't be surprised if she was surprised that she continued to have more success. Because, her album, I mean, it's silly, it's goofy. She was probably thinking to herself, hey, nobody's going to really like this. I'm going to have fun with it. But then, True Colors was huge. I mean, she really actually had
true colors shining through.
So not only did she actually have hits after that first album, I mean, not a lot. She was never as big as Madonna. But the Broadway show right now, Kinky Boots.
Yeah.
That's her. She wrote that. I think she did it with some other people. Like, I don't know if she wrote the music and the lyrics or the whole show, but she did. I don't know the details, but she is like collaborator. She either wrote the music or the lyrics or both or wrote the whole thing. Yeah. Kinky Boots is her.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
That would be the Divinals. Yes, that's another.
I was just thinking about all the songs.
Nice Guy Community, please go up to the Facebook community page, and if you can think of any other songs about masturbation that we've not mentioned, we would love to hear about it. In fact, I think we'll need to put a post up on Tuesday when this episode airs to try and find others. Other songs. Yeah.
All right. I'm just looking through I'm looking through the internet now. That's bad. Oh, no, I'm going to just stop. I'm just going to hit the X button on that one. Okay. All right, Strick, we've gone way, way over time on this one. Wait a minute. We out next on Thursday, we must do the Amazon update.
Oh, Amazon update too. Geico Experience, my Southwest update, and we'll talk about Amazon, our Amazon.com listener purchase of the week.
Okay. All right. Nice Guy Community. Never underestimate the power of nice. Steve O'Brien, please take us out of here.
Nice Guy Community. What do you think of the Nice Guys podcast? Is it A, interesting, informative, intelligent business information that's really helpful? B, a couple of guys who think they're funny, but actually have an inflated perception of their own self-worth? C, same shit, different podcast? Or D, all of the above?